Susie's pain was more than physical, and she felt that by being in the hospice, she had the constant support from experienced professionals, and that gave her greater freedom to be herself, to be the mother to her children, and to be the wife to her husband. She felt guilty because the hospice was not convenient to her family. And that was the word she used to me. I feel so guilty, Liz. As she became more and more aware that time was short, she needed to be with her family. And I know how tough that was for Connor, Anya and Fergus. It was difficult on so many levels. It was wonderful that Connor had family in Dublin, and that certainly helped. But being away from the normal routine of work and school and home, only emphasized the changes that were happening in their lives. It emphasized their loss. Susie had so many happy weeks with her family, and all the staff worked to make Our Lady's Hospice home for them. I can't praise the staff at the hospice enough. The staff became her extended family, and I would often come by her room and find her door open and lots of fun and laughter going on. But it wasn't all laughter and fun. It was tough too for her. There are many Susies out there, and I've met many of them. My hope is that the choice of hospice will be there for everyone. It is not a place to be feared. It is a place to live. To live in the knowledge that you will be treated with dignity, respect, and love. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Liz. It was very inspiring. Well, it's called the Susie Lawn Hospice Fund. It's not a fund without funds, and to get the funds we're going to have to do a bit of fundraising. So to talk about the nuts and bolts of that, Tommy Roach is going to explain it all to us. Tommy is coordinator of the steering committee.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. I just want to start by saying that I first met Susie in 1991 when herself and Conor and her family came to Kilkenny. And I met her at an Amnesty International meeting. And it always stays with me, the fact that she was so concerned about other people. And it seems really extraordinary that even as she was dying in Our Lady's Hospice, she was still concerned about other people, namely the people of Kilkenny, but also in the wider context, the people of Ireland. And she thought that there should be a hospice in Kilkenny, so that all of us from Kilkenny, should we find ourselves in the same situation as Susie did, that at least we would have the advantage of a hospice nearby, where our friends and our family and so on could come and visit us. And we got together, Susie's family and friends, to get a hospice in Kilkenny for Kilkenny. I want to stress that we're not trying to do this to the detriment of other counties. We strongly believe that there should be a hospice in every county. It shouldn't be a question of either County A or County B. It should be one for every county. Now, obviously that demands a lot of fundraising to reach a target. Now, we would estimate, you have to understand that this is very early days, first of all. We're only together a few weeks, and we still have a lot of research, if you like, and a lot of facts to find, and a lot of people to talk to, other state stakeholders. But we would envisage that we would need somewhere in the region of €2 million in the short to medium term. And that would be mainly to purchase land and to build the actual hospice and supply the equipment necessary. Now, if Santa Claus comes early and we have a site donated by the HSE or by some other local authority or whatever, then whatever funds we have raised for that land will then move forward to pay for the hospice itself. We would like the people of Kilkenny really to get behind this and support it, not just in the short term, but for the long haul. And we would like people to send a message out to people working in factories, people in schools, whatever, to come up with ideas and take the initiative and raise substantial funds to make this hospice a reality. If anybody happens to win the Euro Lotto tonight, we'd especially like to hear from them. We're starting off our first fundraising venture really with a set of Christmas cards. They're a set of 6 cards, all different designs, on sale at €5 per pack. I think some of you already have some. All the cards were designed by local people, mostly friends of Susie, and they were printed locally and so on. So that's our very first venture into fundraising for the hospice. I'm not going to say any more because it's still early days yet, but if anybody has questions, we can take them. Do we want to do that now or do we do it later?
I think we're going to do that later.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's all for now.
The last time I spoke to Susie was on the phone, and she was in a restaurant in Ranelagh in Dublin waiting for the crew from Primetime to come and buy her lunch. And it was, I think she had done an interview about 2 days after I had interviewed her, and she joked that all her life she had gone by without any journalist having any interest in her, and then 2 in 1 week wanted to interview her. We're going to play that interview, the Primetime interview now, and I just ask you to listen out for what Susie had to say about hospice.
Hello, welcome to this Primetime special on cancer. Every Irish family is affected in some way by cancer, and 4 of us will die from it. Our opening snapshot there of statistics are a grim but vivid reminder of just how deadly this disease can be. Although many people do recover, cancer, or euphemistically called the phase C, remains a diagnosis we all really dread. Recent scandals in relation to breast cancer in particular
time with cancer. I can't prove it, but I believe it, yeah. I do believe it. Because it had only just spread to my lungs. You know, there are only a couple of spots on my lungs. So it wasn't like the cancer had completely invaded my body by that time. So yeah, I believe the 7 months was a disaster.
Do you feel, in a sense, the Irish health system let you down?
Yeah, I do. The fact that if I would have had VHI or any of the other private medical insurance, if I would have had those, I would have been seen immediately, and my chances of surviving would have been better. The fact that there's that inequality of this built-in system means that I'm terminally ill. I believe that people should be seen on the basis of how ill they are, you know, of their symptoms, not on how much money they have.
I know you think it's important about the County Day Centre that's going to be set up. Tell me about that. And also, there are other people who would argue there's no point in having these smaller centres. You actually need these big centres of excellence if we're ever going to treat cancer properly in Ireland.
People need hospitals in their communities. They don't need to trek across the country when they're ill to get the help that they need. This new centre will have 24 beds. It'll be state of the art, and it'll cut down on the waiting list, because 7 months is too long to wait for a colonoscopy when you're bleeding from your rectum, when your bowel movements change rapidly. They tell you the symptoms and they tell you to hurry up and get seen, but then they put you on a waiting list to get the diagnosis, which doesn't make sense. But with this new unit, hopefully that'll put an end to it.
I said before you, and you were incredibly brave, but everybody worries about ever getting cancer, and most Irish families have been touched by it. What is it like to have cancer? How do you cope with it?
You just take one day at a time. You know, I wake up and I'm glad that I'm here. There's a lot of good things to live for. So every day that I have to spend with my husband and my children makes it worth it. You know, it makes whatever you have to put up with cancer. You know, there's pain, and it's rotten, it's horrible, but I'm glad every morning I wake up, it's one more day I can spend with my family.
Are you frightened of what lies ahead, or do you have great faith? Do you have faith?
I'm not religious, no. I'm confident that I'll have a comfortable day in the hospice here. They look after people very well. I want it to be as far away as possible, but I'm confident I'll be well looked after while I'm here.
If you had one message for the Irish Health Service and those who run it, what might it be?
The health service should be for everyone equally. That's it. Everyone is entitled to a good health service. It shouldn't depend on where you live or how much money you have in your bank